Good morning. So I'm Professor Michael Seguin from the School of Leadership, Ecology and Equity. I'm with Professor Awad Akroubi from the School of Social Communication and Professor Guillaume Durand from the School of Counseling, Psychotherapy and Spirituality. And so we're here this morning to meet under the academic regulation A4 since we were contacted by our colleague Professor Simon Tremblay-Pépin about allegation of fabricated sources in your paper for class INS 8130. And so the goal of the meeting this morning, we're acting as an inquiry committee for the Dean, is first of all to hear you and to hear your version, to say what you say about the allegations. Then if we have questions, we will ask you a few questions. And then we will analyze the case based on what you say, based on the documentations that we receive. And we will make a recommendation to the Dean within 5 business days. And then the Dean will come back to you within 5 business days with the decision that was made, and we're following here the process of Regulation A4, Article 3, process number 4. And so if you're ready, we really want to hear what you say about these, basically these 5 references that are in your bibliography, but that we couldn't match through an internet search in various databases.
Okay. So I have packages for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so before the tabs get started, there's just my introduction. So I'll just go through that. I'm not going to read everything in this package, but I'm going to read the introduction part. So I'm Dana Hickey, by the way, if I didn't introduce myself, Anishinaabe. So this package serves as my defense against academic fraud allegations initiated by Dr. Tremblay-Pépin regarding my research proposals submitted for INS 8130 on April 22nd, technically at 2:13 a.m. So technically 2 hours and 13 minutes past the due date. The allegations claim that 5 of my sources were fabricated. I assert that these accusations are unfounded, as all my sources are verifiable and relevant to my research on integrating Anishinaabe and Western knowledge systems for knowledge translation, healing, and reconciliation. The errors in my reference list were minor citation inaccuracies, which I have corrected, and do not constitute academic fraud. Furthermore, Dr. Tremblay-Pépin did not contact me to discuss his concerns or give me an opportunity to respond to them before he filed these formal allegations. I believe Dr. Tremblay-Pépin's actions may be influenced by personal vendetta stemming from my prior unresolved complaints of racism, which led to a separate and previous grievance against me, and which raises ethical concerns about his impartiality and competence. This package includes corrections for each reference and supporting evidence of prior use in coursework, demonstrating the correctability of the errors and the integrity of my submission, which is the product of 2 years of reading, thinking, reflection, and writing. So there's a table of contents there that explains what this is. We just went through my introduction. On the next page, you'll see my email to Dr. STP, sometimes I call him that. At 2:13 a.m. That was the submission. I have been working on it all day, the 21st and previous day, of course. I do all of my hours, and I'm not trying to get away with anything, which is often the suggestion, and it's racism. So I also included a summary of the files that I received by, the email comes from Integrity or whatever it is. Because there's a previous protest. There's a previous administrative process going on, and it's a complete fiasco. So it's my position that the process is totally improper, and it gets more improper as the days are going on. So then the reason why I put this here is just in case, because I don't understand everything that Dr. STP said, and I don't in my view, I think that might be like based on what I have, the information I have, it's my view that that's intended to cause confusion and that's gaslighting. And so then rather than being asked a question based on something that I have never even seen before, which is, like I said, part of this, like some of this fiasco stuff that's happening. I have here, show you exactly what I received in a list there. And tab 6 also has the relevant pages from what I received, like what I'm working from, is the relevant pages are in tab 6, and like not all the pages, just the ones that he highlighted. But like, for instance, he says, I underline passages, he talks about plagiarism, I have no idea what he's talking about. So then that's why we're not going to go through tab 6, but that's why it exists. So then also I'm including to you my email from Integrity, the very first one that came, and it shows the 10 attachments that are on the page before that. And just in case you haven't read any of these things, just in case this stuff, because I know that things aren't shared properly all the time. And so that's why I provide to you this original email that I got on May 1st. I want to say it was May 1st. So then you can go to tab reference 1, tab 1. So the incorrect citation is on the top, and the corrected citation is underneath. So this one doesn't have a lot of, this is one of my newest sources. So the article is an excellent source for this research because it provides a theoretical and practical basis for integrating Anishinaabe and Western knowledge systems. It underscores the relational, spiritual, and land-based nature of Anishinaabe ontologies. It critiques colonial epistemological dominance, and it offers insights into decolonizing methodologies and fostering reconciliation through ontological dialogue, which is something I'm proposing in my proposal. These elements directly support the objectives to articulate Anishinaabe ontologies, promote philosophical inquiry, and develop integrative frameworks for cross-cultural understanding. So underneath that, you'll see the cover page. So I provided cover pages for everybody, and then you can just go and have a look on your own if you're gonna double check to make sure I didn't fabricate it. It's so funny. I never even thought of fabricating references before in my life. I think I understand what that means, but I don't fabricate things. Okay, so tab 2, if you guys are ready to continue. Okay, so the research proposes disciplinarity. So that's new to me in my PhD. To expand methodological parameters and create a space where Anishinaabe philosophy can coexist with Western philosophy. The idea is based on research by Perez and Saavedra and Garcia and Ramirez. Both references were introduced to me in INS 8103 in the fall of 2024 with Dr. Mackey, and both influenced the development of this idea in the fall of 2024. These references appear on their syllabus. Dr. Tremblay-Pepin points you to the bottom of page 13, which is the introduction for the section entitled Methodology and Methods. Here I cited Garcia and Ramirez for inspiring my ideas around creating a space where Anishinaabe philosophy can coexist with Western philosophy. And that's correct, although perhaps it would have been clearer to include both Perez and Saavedra, which I did in other places. However, on page 15, which is 2 pages after where he makes his mark, in the section titled Transdisciplinarity, I explain in greater detail how Perez and Saavedra's article on Chicana Latina feminist methodologies excuse me, inspired the inclusion of spiritually centered methodologies by adding transdisciplinarity to my research. The incorrect citation for Garcia and Ramirez is on top, and then the corrected citation is underneath it. Additional supporting evidence. Both Perez and Saavedra and Garcia and Ramirez appear in Dr. Mackey's syllabus. Prior to the assignment that is subject to this academic fraud investigation, I cited Garcia and Ramirez's article correctly on Chicana feminist theory on the following occasions. In a critical reading reflection submitted to Dr. Mackey on November 18th, 2024. In Design Spine 3, submitted to Dr. Tremblay-Pepin for INS 1830 on March 28th. 2025, in a thesis proposal presentation assignment submitted to Dr. Tremblay-Pepin for INS 8130 on March 31st, 2025. Prior to the assignment that is subject to the academic fraud investigation, I cited Perez and Saavedra's article on Chicana Latina feminist methodologies on the following occasions, and a critical reading reflection submitted to Dr. Mackey on October 21st, 2024, and a methodology paper outline submitted to Dr. Mackey on October 7th, and Design Spine 2 and Design Spine 3, both submitted to Dr. Tremblay-Pepin, once on March 3rd and once again on March 28th. And you'll see the cover page. If you're ready to go to reference 3. So the incorrect citation is on the top, and the corrected citation is underneath. Additional supporting evidence. The Oswald article appears in Dr. Mackey's syllabus for 8103. Prior to the assignment that is subject to this academic fraud investigation, I cited the same Oswald article in my coursework on the following occasions: in a critical reading reflection submitted to Dr. Mackey on October 21st, 2024, in a seminar presentation for Dr. Mackey on November 25th, 2024, and in a methodology paper for Dr. Mackey submitted on December 5th, 2024. The article is a resource for my discussion about methodological practices that marginalize Anishinaabe methodologies, and it provides a framework for understanding how activist-driven biases, such as epistemological cherry-picking and collective bias, can distort scientific inquiry. And then there's a cover page. Reference 4. The incorrect citation is on the top. The corrected citation is underneath. Additional supporting evidence. Prior to the assignment that is subject to this academic fraud investigation, I cited the same Moon article on integrated knowledge in marine research 3 times in my coursework on the following occasions: in Design Spine 1, submitted to Dr. Wilson on January 29, 2025. In Design Spine 2, submitted to Dr. Tremblay-Pepin for INS 8130 on March 3, 2025. And in the thesis proposal presentation assignment submitted to Dr. Tremblay-Pepin for this course on March 31st, 2025. Conclusion: the article highlights the challenges of integrating knowledge from epistemic communities with differing criteria for validity. It supports the research by offering tools to analyze Anishinaabe and Western knowledge systems, addressing colonial power imbalances, and promoting inclusive, decolonized approaches to knowledge integration. And so talking about knowledge integration is also new for me. And so then this is when I started thinking about that, was this Moon article. And you'll see the cover page after that. And then the last reference, so we're almost done. That's good. Well, I'm almost done, excuse me. So reference 5, the incorrect citation is on top and the corrected citation is underneath it. Additional supporting evidence. The Sutherland article appears in Dr. Wilson's syllabus for INS 8101. Prior to the assignment that is subject to this academic fraud investigation, I cited the same Sutherland article in my coursework on the following occasions: in a reading reflection for week 11 submitted to Dr. Wilson on November 22nd, 2023, in a week 12 presentation for Dr. Wilson on November 30th, 2023, and in a methodology paper submitted to Dr. Mackey on December 5th, 2024. That was my final assignment for Dr. Mackey. Conclusion: the article supports the research by offering a model for equitable engagement through consensus decision-making and leadership distribution, while also highlighting the need for reflexivity to address cultural and power imbalances. And like I said, tab 6 is just for reference if we need it. So that's basically my position in regard to these unfounded allegations.
Thank you very much. So the next step is if we have any question about all that you reported.
No extra question.
Well, I have to say you are very organized. Thank you for sharing that with us. Just out of curiosity, just to get it clear, when you say that you have used the same source in previous courses with Dr. Wilson and so on, have you used the correct citation or in the incorrect citation?
The correct citation. So I don't know what happened. I don't know how these citations actually got all jumbled up. It was sometime in between 1 a.m. and 2:13 in the morning, and I was exhausted and had been working all day. I don't know of any other errors in any of my citations ever, but that's only because no one has ever pointed it out, not because errors don't exist.
So again, to assert that, so does this mean again that you have used in all of the examples that you have provided the correct citation in other courses, except for the assignment submitted for Dr. Tremblay-Buffet?
That's right.
Okay.
So that could be verified. I have the evidence, and also those professors would have that evidence, and it's in bright space, all this kind of thing.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Well, I mean, with the file that you provided, there's nothing.
Yeah, I'm very experienced. I'm very experienced in this kind of, in my view, it's racism, but I have a lot of experience.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
And just to answer shortly one of your questions, this investigation is really under academic regulation A4, and that's our mandate is really squarely limited to is the allegation verified or not, and what should be the sanction. That's our mandate work. We just look at that. We don't.
Well, my sources are not fabricated. My sources exist. I've been working with some of them for 2 years, and many of them for over a year. And my work is based on since I started here in the fall of 2023, resulted in that research proposal that I submitted. These are minor citation errors, and they don't constitute fraud. And this gets more problematic with Dr. Tremblay-Pepin has a previous grievance to this, and he shouldn't even be marking my work to begin with. So he's in a very serious conflict of interest, and these are very serious matters and breaches of ethics.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Merci.
Thank you.